University issuing a statement saying, in part, that the performance was a, quote, symbolic recognition that far too many young men die of senseless gun violence. Joining us now from Washington, Fox News analyst Allen West. Are you buying that?
No, Bill, I tell you, I'm not going to buy into it. I really see this, you know, the death of Trayvon Martin was a tragic case, but this is a small ball distraction. In that last week of the Zimmerman case, there was a young man by the name of Darrell Green, who was an honor student in Chicago, who was shot dead. His body was found because he refused to join a gang. You know, maybe perhaps Alabama State should have put the number 13 out there and done a formation to talk about the 13% unemployment in the black community, or maybe 40 because of the 40% unemployment for black teenagers. Or maybe, as you continue to talk about, put the number up 72%, which is the amount of black children born to, you know, out of wedlock. So we have some real serious issues in the black community that no one seems to want to confront. And I would say to the president of Alabama State University, how about inviting Bill O'Reilly, Juan Williams, and Allen West down to your campus, and let us have a forum talking about these real pressing issues in the inner city and the urban environment.
Now, do you think that the display from the band was an attempt at raising consciousness of young black men being killed, which would be a good thing, in my opinion, or was it a grandstand PC play?
Well, I cannot talk to the intent of the band director and, of course, the university president, but I think in the long run it does seem more to be a little bit of a PC play than really talking about what the true nexus of the issue of these young black men who are killing each other.
But it's a bit
in
complicated.
The urban city.
It's a bit complicated because the reason Trayvon Martin died was because he looked a certain way, and it wasn't based on skin color. If Trayvon Martin had been wearing a jacket like you are and a tie like you are, Mr. West, this evening, I don't think George Zimmerman would have any problem with him. But he was wearing a hoodie, and he looked a certain way, and that way is how gangsters look, and therefore he got attention. And the reason that culture has risen is because there are a lot of gangs, and they're violent, and they dress a certain way, and when people see that, they associate that kind of bad conduct. So Martin was innocent of anything. He didn't do anything wrong, Trayvon Martin. But because he looked a certain way, he lost his life. And it's all interconnected to this violent crime that, as you stated and I stated, is driven by the dissolution of the family and no supervision and nobody really caring about what happens in those precincts. Go ahead.
You're absolutely right. There is that gangster culture that is out there that is being promoted and promulgated. And what we have to understand is that Trayvon Martin was up there to be with his father because he had been suspended and kicked out of school when he was living with his mother. So again, that is the nexus of the problem, just the same as what we saw out in Oklahoma with those three young men who decided that they needed to go out and shoot Christopher Lane. And we come to find out that they were part of a gangster culture. They were part of the Crips gang. And they really did not have parental environment. You know, it's a different environment growing up in the inner city than what I experienced growing up in the inner city of Atlanta, Georgia. And we need to get back to those fundamentals. And I think that's what the bands and the university presidents and the black community and black community leadership need to stress.
It would be nice if they did extend the story into the why of it rather than the what of it. You know,
the cause and effect.
Yes. I mean, you know, if we want to stop these things, then you have to solve the problem. And the problem isn't, you know, white people hunting down black people. That's not what's happening in this country. All right, Mr. West.
That's the easier thing to discuss.
That's the easy thing, and that's what the racial hustlers seized upon, which is why I had to go after them. Mr. West, good to see you. When we come right back, Gutfeld and McGurk on the Washington Redskins under fire for their team name. And the Pinheads of the Week. I will join in on that. The boys are next.